Welcome to Straightway Through with Gina, the podcast where we say it straight, we say it true, we say it kind to the best of our ability every time. The place where we help communication get better, improve, deepen relationships. And in tonight's case, it's not a we, it's an I. I'm here solo tonight for a special topic I'd like to share with you. I think it might help. This topic has been something that's been a lifelong learning process for me. It gets me into some trouble, and I think it might really help you. Something that our society does is it sets up this idea, this image that we at some point in our life will find the one. It doesn't have to be a romantic partner, it could be the one friend, the one partner, romantic, the one sibling, the one neighbor, the one boss, the one that is going to be your fit, the one that understands you, the one where you can truly be yourself. Isn't that what we all want? It's in movies, it's in TV shows, it's celebrated everywhere and searched for. The one, who's my one? It reminds me of that storybook that I read or was read to me as a kid, and it was Chicken Little, I think. The sky is falling. And if I have that story right in my mind, the chicken went to all these different creatures and people and places and said, "Are you my mother?" And maybe I'm mixing up stories here, but what I took from that is that it was on that search, that little chicken, if it was even a chicken, I don't know. It was on a search looking for the one. Who's that one for me? Who's the one that gets me? Who's the one where I can take my guard down and just be me? Who's the one that's going to back me up? Who's the one that's going to not betray me? Who's the one that's going to be my true partner, the one I walk with in life, the one that lifts my spirits? It's it's all over the place. And I pursued it for a long time, thinking it was just a matter of going through enough people that eventually you land on that one. It doesn't even have to just be people. It could be that one degree, that one class, that one piece of information, that one thing that's going to change everything for you, that's going to make everything click together. And I'm not saying that there may be people who have found the one for them, right? Where they get along really good, they click really well, and they do feel like they can take their guard down and be themselves. And if that's something that you have or that someone else has, that's great. It doesn't necessarily mean that something may not happen tomorrow to that one person or thing or place where you realize, ooh, it wasn't the one that my mind made it out to be. I'm not saying that that's the truth. I would never put that on anybody. Maybe you found the one and you'll live that one out forever. Okay. I don't want to take away from anyone's experience by sharing my experience and my perception of how the world is through talking to many, many, many people and having many experiences of my own. Is that this search for the one here on earth in human form or in material form is a search that leads you to despair. It's not just finding that one person. This form of communication, meaning like it's not just about finding that one and orienting it toward that. It's also just in your everyday conversation. So let's imagine you're in a conversation today and you are being yourself and you share something that sets the other person off, meaning like it triggers their emotions, their past, whatever comes up for them, and they're in it. And once you trigger somebody, once someone is triggered, including you, once you're triggered, it's very hard to get off that ride. It's almost like you're on a carnival ride and there's no getting off. Like you don't get off until the ride ends, and you're not in control of when the ride ends. So if you trigger someone or if someone triggers you, that ride is going and going. Unless you're someone who's not living out the norm and you can get yourself off that ride, but it's extremely rare. Okay. I'm not saying it's not something to work towards. It is something to work towards. It's so valuable if you can do that, but it's not the norm. So let's just say you're talking to someone and you set them off, you trigger them or they trigger you. And all you did was just be you. Meaning not in an unkind way, not in an unfair way, not in a belligerent way or in a mean way, but you just shared something that pushed their buttons unknowingly, like completely unknowingly to you. You pushed their buttons and they're triggered. And they turn you into an enemy, right? Because their past is coming up, because their mind is filling in the dots. And so here's like the couple of dots that was your conversation. As soon as you said that thing that triggered, all of a sudden, all these other dots filled in that had nothing to do with you, but that's where they are. They've completed those dots to be a picture that is not an actual reflection of anything that you are or that you said or whatever, right? It's just not the reality. It can feel so crushing in that moment because all you were doing is being yourself. This happens to me often. I mean, it's literally happened my whole life. I've walked into these situations because in my mind has been fed that ideal, that image, that that way of being that says you can be yourself. You could be yourself in this world. You could be yourself with people. Especially people you love, people you trust, people who are around you, people who make an effort and act as if they like you, right? You can be yourself. I don't think that's actually true. And I love pushback. So if you're listening to this and you don't think what I'm saying is true, or you have reason to believe otherwise, experience to believe otherwise, let's talk about it. Write me a little note. Tell me that you want to come on and talk about this because I would love to hear your experience. I would love to get a little bit deeper into understanding this. What I am coming to find out in the decades that I've been at this is that it's a fallacy to believe that I can be myself in these situations, fully myself, or that there is ever a one, right? The one that can withstand all of me. That is not likely. And if you this is what I mean. I would love to debate this because if you say a healthy debate, a friendly debate, meaning there's no right or wrong, there's no winner or loser. It's just two people sharing ideas. That kind of a debate. If if you say no, I can be myself, I would want to ask you who you are. Like when you say I can be myself, like all of yourself, like everything, like your feelings, your thoughts, your perception, uh, everything, like you could be fully yourself. Because here's what I find: a lot of people don't know who they are fully. I know I'm making a lot of claims here that could potentially trigger a lot of people, but talk to me about those triggers. You can do it right in the comment section here, or you could do it personally. You could send me an email, Gina@straightwaycoaching.com or Gina@straightwaythrough.com. Send me an email. We can talk online, meaning you can come on and do a podcast episode with me, or we can talk offline. But let me know if I say something that you disagree with or that you want to have a healthy debate about, because I think that's what makes us both grow and what makes us both learn. I have learned from the many failures and mistakes that I've had in relationships that when I walk around thinking, oh, yeah, I can be myself, the world quickly shows me that I can't. And that I need boundaries, and that boundaries are healthy. And that when you're getting to know someone or you know someone already really, really well, you still have to be discerning about how much you share, how much of yourself you share. Not because you need to be guarded or you need to protect yourself necessarily. Sometimes that might be the case, but because not everybody is at a place where they can hear all the parts of you, all the things of you, all the ideas, the perceptions, the awareness, the understanding, whatever it is. They're not at that place. And that's a hard lesson when you are born and bred in a world that tells you that the ideal is for you to be you. It's almost like it almost tells you that the ideal is for you to be you, and if you can't be you, then there must be something wrong with the relationship, right? Like if you're in a job and you don't feel like you're you, then it must be the wrong job. If you're in a relationship where you don't feel like you can be you, well, then it must be the wrong relationship. That's like the underlying imagery and information that we get, whether it's in movies or it's in TV shows or it's in phrases. I don't think it's true. I think if you're in a job and it doesn't feel like you can be you, or if you're in a relationship and it doesn't feel like you can be you, it's not necessarily that it's the wrong relationship or the wrong job. It's that it's a misperception to think that there's one place where you can be all of you without it creating some confusion, some drama, some upset, some emotional triggers, and things like that. I wanted to share this because for me, it's a big aha. It's a big aha. I like to extract the good from every bad situation. I believe that's what we are meant to do. And there are lots of bad situations. They're seemingly bad. And when they happen, I look for how to find the good. And so I have a collection of what maybe you or I could call bad experiences in relationships where I say something with no intent to harm, no intent to hurt, no intent to upset, nothing like that. But it still seems to do all of those: harm, upset, hurt. It's not my intention. And I know that intention isn't everything. But what I mean is it's it's actually to help, meaning the intention is to help, and it's hard for me to understand how it's not helpful until somebody shows me that they have a bad reaction to it. What's the good in that? How do I extract the good from that? Instead of feeling like a victim to this world who sells us something that I don't think is true, and instead of feeling a victim to that circumstance, and instead of getting down on feeling like, "Ah, there's nobody here that really can deal with all of me." Like, I'm too much for everyone I know. Right? No one can withstand all of me. Right? That's like a really sad feeling. That's like a really a mentality that keeps me or you or whoever's feeling it down in the dumps. Okay. It's not a place to stay. It's okay to feel the feelings temporarily, which I do, and I always invite you to do too, is feel the feelings for a little while. Set a timer for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes, even for a half hour if that's what you want to do for a half hour. But come out of that and say, what is this here to teach me? And so I am realizing that I am being granted a big lesson, a lesson that's actually going to really help me. So is there a part of me that's sad that there isn't this one friend, this one mate, this one family member, this one friend, this one neighbor, this one degree, this one school, this one job, this one client, whatever it is, this one that's going to be able to hear and fit and see and understand all of me? Yeah, there's some sadness to that. But that's kind of like human internal sadness that each person has to wrestle with a little bit. There's good in that. There's good in that. I already see how good it is for me. So, yes, it's sad in some ways, and it's okay to feel that sadness in moments, but to not turn that sadness into a way of life. It's to say, what is this here to teach me? And what it's teaching me is that I need better boundaries. I need better internal communication. That's what it comes down to. I need to communicate better with myself instead of just being myself anywhere that I go. That's like a lack of boundaries. It's a lack of boundaries for me to just go someplace and just be myself. Again, I don't think that's the image that we're sold, but I think it's the reality. As I put these boundaries in place and I realize my internal world, who I am, who I've gotten to know, is for me to know, and of course, God to know, because I am a God person. So it's for me and it's for God. As far as everyone else in the world, there's nothing wrong with them if they can't hear or understand or contain or deal with all of me. It just means I have to get to know what those boundaries are, and I have to be more discerning and deciding about how much of myself I reveal it slowly, a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, and see how it's integrated with. And it's okay if I make a mistake or if you make a mistake and you give a little bit more and then you learn a lesson. But that's the thing, learn the lesson. Don't go into the dumps about like what it means about you or how devastating it is, sad it is. I mean, don't stay there. Don't stay there in that feeling. Just feel it. It's a feeling, acknowledge it, let it pass, and then go right back to where's the good here? What's the lesson for me? I hope this has been helpful for you. And like I said, you might be someone who believes you have found the one. Maybe you have found the one. I'm just here sharing my opinion. I'm not the authority, meaning I can only share my experience. It doesn't mean my experience is all of reality or all of truth. It's one little experience, one person. And in this understanding, I have it feels like growth. It feels like maturity for me to understand this. I wanted to share this with you because I'm willing to bet that there's a lot of people out there who are still searching for that one and who feel really sad and devastated and destroyed every time a person, place, or thing says, "Nope, I'm not the one." Just like in that story, Chicken Little, if I have the story right. Are you my mother? Nope, I'm not your mother. Are you my mother? Nope, I'm not your mother. Are you my mother? Nope, I'm not your mother. So, like searching for that mother, searching for that one, searching for that thing, but never getting it. Can you relate? Has there been something that you've been searching for that you never seem to get, or you think you have it for a day, a week, a year, and then you realize it's gone? You don't? Let me know if you can relate or if you have a different experience. I would love to hear it. I hope this was helpful. And if you would like to get to know yourself better, it's funny. The journal prompts that I have and that I offer to you, it's say it straight to yourself first so you can say it straight to them second. And if you take everything I just shared in the last 20 minutes or so, you might say, well, why would I even want to say it straight to myself? Because if I can't say it straight to them, what does it matter? When you can say it straight to yourself, when you know who you are, and that's a never ending process, meaning like there's more of you to know. There's more of you to know. There's more of you to explore. When you know who that is, you can say what you want and what you need to straight to other people. And you can withhold, not withhold in like a, oh, that person's withholding love, not a withholding love way, but meaning you have to be careful about what you say to who. That's reality. I know it's not the fantasy. It's not what we want to believe is reality. But the reality is You discern what you say. You know that when it comes to work, right? When you go into work, you don't say just about anything that you would say to maybe a significant other, right? You know there's a boundary there. When you say it straight to yourself, you can say what you need to straight to others. The more you get to know yourself, the less triggered you are in relationships. The less rejecting of other people's allness you will be. Because the more you know of yourself, the more all it includes, the more space of the allness of someone else that you can be there for, that you can witness, that you can listen to, that you can integrate with instead of rejecting. If you'd like those daily journal prompts, 3 minutes a day or less, that's all you put in. 3 minutes a day or less helps you get to know yourself, helps you say it straight to yourself so that when you need to, you can say it straight to others. The link for that, say it straight to yourself, is in the show notes. If you liked this, if it resonated, if you think it would help somebody, click the like button, share it, subscribe. I'll see you next week.